My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. Hello, Jean, how are you? How is the weather in South Africa? Get all your questions in, by the way, in the live chat. I'm going to make a coffee live on air. I think it's the first time in Talking Tennis history that this will have been done. Probably not the first time in YouTube history. So I'm going to just move my laptop around so we can see my machine, which is there. Get your questions in on the live chat. I'm going to move this out the way so you can see a little bit about more what's going on. Let me know in the live chat where you're tuning in from, but also what are you consuming? Obviously, you're consuming Talking Tennis. But I mean, what are you drinking? Maybe you're having a coffee like me or a juice. Talking Tennis mug, by the way. How about this angle? Is that okay? Yeah, you can see me all right there. Got some oranges here, look. Not we need them in the coffee. But yeah, so live on air, we're going to make this coffee and then I'll get to your questions. So get some questions in about tennis in the live chat, but also let me know where you're tuning in from. I will address those questions. Can somebody tell me what's going on in Doha and Dubai? Because I've not seen any tennis so far today. Well, today is not quite correct. I was watching João Fonseca this morning go out in 3 sets in Rio. I'll be very interested to know your thoughts on his departure. A lot has been spoken about that. I'd also love to hear what you've got to say about Alex Eala and maybe the video that I posted yesterday across social media, but also on YouTube and stuff like that. So let me know what you think about Eala and the fandom, but also let me know, and I am here, by the way. Let me know what you think about her run. And also Coco Gauff against Elina Svitolina. Svitolina coming through in 3 sets today. Going to be coming up against Coco Gauff. Of course, they played each other, didn't they, in Australia a few weeks ago. And that was incredibly one-sided for Svitolina. Surprisingly so, I would say. But it does feel like maybe in that win against Elise Mertens that maybe Coco's turned a little bit of a corner. Maybe. Maybe not. Let me know what you think in the live chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Of course, we are here and we're going to stay live until this number here gets to 25,000. When that says 25,000, we're done. Not forever, but for today. Can you hear me all right, by the way? I hope my mic is working fine. I see we've got... Good. Yeah, good question, Gene. Good question. And good morning, Ghosty. Good question about Yannick Sinner. I'm loving these questions. I will get to them, but probably quite slowly because I'm also making coffee live on air for the first time. Maybe some of you are thinking, well, if you'd done this sooner, you'd have got to 25,000 subscribers sooner. Maybe. Maybe. Get your questions in the live chat. If they don't have to be tennis related, we can talk about Arsenal and their capitulation. And by the way, I have a little surprise for you all. I got something in the post today from dear Jake Davies, and it is beautiful. I will share that with you shortly. Just cleaning this. This is for the milk. How do you take your coffee, people, by the way? Or maybe you're not a coffee drinker at all. By the way, imagine that we don't get any subscribers over the next 3 hours or something like that, and we're just stuck on that number. I guess I have to keep going. I have fallen asleep before, not on air, but backstage when I was producing a couple of times. I remember one during Wimbledon, maybe 23 or 24. I'm backstage producing, and I remember our dear late Damien friend saying, and they were laughing about me falling asleep, basically. Right, coffee beans. So, we are open, by the way, to sponsorship. If anyone wants to sponsor us. Oh, my goodness me. Gene, you don't drink coffee. Oh, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, by the way, I think we're on Instagram as well. I don't know how entertaining this is for the people, but yeah. Hello, Mary Grace, 31, who's just joined on Instagram. Oh, you drink tea, do you? What kind of tea, Gene? I mentioned we're open for sponsorship because if you are a brand of coffee beans, for example, you're welcome to sponsor us. By the way, we are here to get to 25,000 subscribers, and I can see that we have 18 people watching right now, which is quite nice. This is from Cafe Saudis, by the way. Cafe Saudis. Very, very nice blend. Black tea, okay. Maybe Italian and feisty, Ghosty. Italian and feisty. Yeah, so if you want to, we could begin every stream with me making coffee, by the way. That would be a great way for a sponsor to join. Right. Anyway, you can also get some tennis questions in. You can get some arguments in about Arsenal's capitulation. That's very funny. Are Manchester United going to be in the title race next week? If we beat Everton and Man City and Arsenal don't win their games, maybe we're in the title race. Maybe we are. Newcastle are playing Man City this weekend, by the way. Right, I guess you want to really see the whole coffee making process go on, so maybe we can hone in on that now. Get your Talking Tennis mugs out. I know you've all got Talking Tennis merchandise. It's pinned in the live chat. Get yourself a Talking Tennis mug. Here is mine. That is going to go there. Now, very important. Turn the machine on. Wonderful. We just added a subscriber. Thank you for joining, by the way. Man United delusions. Well, yeah. Could be a book. The Man United delusion. So, very important. Turn the machine on. Okay? That's important. Coffee beans in. Make sure plenty of water. That's a beginner's error often is not to have enough water in the machine. So there you go. Get yourself a good bean. Get yourself a good bean, people, as well. I like coffee beans, personally. So they are in there. Get your tennis questions in the live chat. I've seen one about Yannick Sinner so far, but I think that's the only one I've seen. Get your questions in. Also get voting in our poll. Right. Coffee's in. Now we just push this. Listen to that. Okay. Can you smell it? This is nice. Get one of these little fellas. Squeeze that down. Get that really flat, yeah? Maybe going to put a bit more coffee in today because I'm feeling generous. Okay. Now, squash, squeeze, whatever, that down. And then we put that in here, like so. Insert, find the area. Push it to the right, quite hard. Now it's locked, okay? Now we have our coffee mug. As I said, Talking Tennis. Make sure that's clean. Good. Different buttons. We need the one for the coffee, okay? And also, very important, need to firmly hold the button, okay? By the way, this is not going to make great audio for the podcast. I might have to cut this part. It's going to be quite loud. I think that's about as loud as it gets, but yeah. Tennis questions, please. Come on. Yannick Sinner, Alex Eala, João Fonseca, Jaime Faria. What's going on, by the way? I just in Doha and Dubai, because I just saw Gene write Pegula, and that's all he wrote in the live chat. We need to get some regulars. Where's Jane? Where's Jake? Milk. Now, when it comes to the milk, you might be surprised to see I've gone for the full fat version. Pegula's got the break, has she? Already. That's at the beginning of the match, is it? 2-1? Now, the reason I've gone for the full fat is because when you're heating it up here, it's very important to have the full fat. Trust me. Second set. Who won the first set, Gene? I said I've not seen any tennis today. I need more info than just Pegula. So is she up a set and a break? Is that where we're at? Oh, wow. Johnny predicts again. I said Pegula. The head-to-head is like that for a reason. I learned my lesson in Australia. I predicted Anisimova to win that. And Mert was like, nah. Right. In you go. Full fat milk. Let's heat you up. I'm turning my TV on. What about Doha? What's happening in Doha? What's the quarterfinal lineup? Like I say, I've not seen any tennis. I'm now turning on the tennis. You keep me up to date in the live chat about Dubai. I'm going to put Doha on my TV. Just a quick sip of water. Oh, Alcaraz is playing Rublev. Fils is playing Mensik. What are the other two matches? What are the other two matches in Doha, please? Can someone tell me in the live chat? We've got Alcaraz against Rublev. And when are the other two matches? Anisimova's winning. But Pegula, you said Pegula's up a break. Anisimova is winning by that scoreline. So Pegula's just broken back. Is that what you're saying, Gene? Gene, your reporting, I'm not sure is too accurate. Right, milk time. Heat this up. If you're watching right now and you haven't already subscribed, hit subscribe. Also, get your predictions in for Svitolina against Gauff. I'm going Gauff. Maybe in 3. Maybe Gauff for the title. Hey, how are you? I need your João Fonseca thoughts in the live chat and Alex Eala. What are you thinking? What do we think about this noise? I'm not sure our viewers are liking it too much. Okay. And there we go. Milk now goes in the coffee like so. Now we have a wonderful cup of coffee from a talking tennis mug. I'm going to move us around and we're going to zone in. Get your tennis questions in the live chat, people. Get your tennis questions in the live chat. Right. Remote control. There's no Doha action right now, it seems. Is that right? That seems strange. I'd have thought they would have started already. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on Anisimova and Pegula. If Doha is not happening right now. Okay. Can you all see me all right? Let's get some... No Doha action yet. Thanks, Jean. Let's get the scoreboard up, shall we, with the Anisimova score. You just said Pegula's broken, Jean. And I'm looking at a score line that says 6-1-2 love. Unless you're in the future. 6-1-2-1. Pegula breaks. That's what I have from Eugene. Look, Pegula breaks. 6-1-2-1. Ah, okay. Took you a while, but did you correct yourself? I didn't see any correction. Didn't see any correction there. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm not going to put on that match. I was thinking of doing a watch-along for Svitolina Gauff, but not sure. Get voting in our poll. Yeah, so it's 6-1-2 love. It's not even 6-1-2-1. Right, let's get the score line up for you anyway. And then we'll go through some scores from Rio and Delray Beach as well on the ATP side. There we go. Pegula has got a game. So now it is 6-1-2-1, unless you're calling me from the future, Gene. Have we lost Ghosty? Did we lose some people, by the way, when I was making all that noise, making the coffee? So is Anisimova going to get her first win over Jessica Pegula? Thank you very much. That's better. Don't worry, Gene. These things happen. Oh, okay. By the way, so I wanted to show you what I got from Jake today in the post. Look at this. It's nice, isn't it? Can you all see that okay? Pretty cool, no? So I'm going to have that there, but I might give it a even more special position at some point. But for now, it can just sit there. Okay. Great. Oh, wow, we just gained a couple of subscribers. I'm going to switch microphones, by the way, because I think this microphone is better. And then I want some tennis questions, please. Okay. Cool. What's going on here? Okay, so Pegula is love 15 here, love 30 on the Anisimova serve. So we might now just be looking at the beginning of a comeback. All right, listen, guys, I need some questions from you in the live chat. I've got one about Yannick Sinner that I'm going to answer. Oh, okay, good question about Artefis and Goran Ivanisevic. Well, first of all, let's talk about Goran and Fis, yeah. I know you are an Artefis fan and a Novak Djokovic fan, so I guess you must be quite happy with it. But do we know how good a coach Goran is? Oh, by the way, 3 break points here for Jessica Pegula. Do we know how good a coach Goran Ivanisevic is? He was coaching the statistical GOAT for large parts of his coaching career. Do we think without Goran, Novak Djokovic's Grand Slam haul would be different? I would like to ask Novak that. That would be a question I would like to ask. Ooh, a drop shot here from... Oh, that's nice from Anisimova. Do we think his Grand... I mean, I'm not sure it would be. My point is that I think Novak could well have won 24 Grand Slams with or without Goran. Does that mean he's not a good coach? Of course it doesn't. We had the very short-lived stint with Elena Rybakina, which didn't go as planned. Yeah, I've heard that. I've not heard Novak say it. I've heard pundits say it, but I've not heard Novak say that. But yeah, fair enough. I think this is probably going to be the litmus test, though, isn't it? If you get Artur Feast firing, maybe get him in the top 5, of course, health permitting, that would be the biggest achievement, I think, for Goran in his coaching career. Far bigger than working with Novak in a way. By the way, Anisimova's won back-to-back points to get to 30-40. So that's that. There was also... I want some João Fonseca and Alex Eala questions as well. Get those in the live chat. And I'm going to address the other question here from Gene, which is, do you think Sinner will have a worse year after losses in Australia and Doha? Do you mean worse than Alcaraz? Do you mean worse? Oh, Juice, by the way. Worse than he did last year? Are we comparing Yannick's 2026 with his 2025? I mean, what would constitute worse than last year? I guess he needs to get 2 slams and stay at number 2. Does he get 2 slams? That's the question. 2 from the next 3. I would say no. But I think it also says a lot about Mensik, no? This win. Maybe it says more about Mensik than Yannick. Yannick has lost 2 matches in... I think he's got 22 wins and 2 losses in the last 24 matches. That's not bad. Not too bad. A bit like the coffee. Game point here now for Anisimova, by the way. 6-1. Close to being 3-1. Oh, Stefanos. Yeah. So I forgot Goran was with Stefanos Tsitsipas as well. I forgot about that very brief partnership. Yeah. I think you are kind of saying that maybe Steph lacks that determination. And I wouldn't disagree. And I don't think Stefanos would disagree even. Oh, wonderful forehand winner down the line there from Pegula. That's funny. Lux Shampoo, it's been a long time since I saw you in the chat, by the way. What we need, by the way, is this number here to get to 25,000. If you want me to shut up and end the stream, click subscribe. Right. Mensik, when Mensik has a lights out serving day across 3 sets on a hard court, is Doha quite quick? Doha, Miami, is that a thing? Just thinking about Yapko and in Dubai in Miami last year as well. And Mensik needs to stay fit. Yeah, I felt that Gauff would beat Eala. I thought it would be closer than Lovren too, but I was warmly confident that Gauff would win that for a variety of reasons that I explained during the stream yesterday, but also post-match as well. The matchup is not good for Alex. I think Alex coming up against Coco, an elite, probably the best defender in women's tennis. Oh, another good forehand on the line, but we're still in the rally here. Drop shot from Jessica, but that's not that was a terrible drop shot from Jessica Pegula. She had the point there, didn't she, really, Jess? Okay, so pretty slow at night. Okay, fair enough. I think Miami's pretty quick, or maybe Miami just seems quick in comparison with slow Indian Wells. Mensik, Indian Wells, and Miami. Interesting. What was I going to say about... Oh, yes, Sinner as well. Well, of course, Sinner right now is playing with house money in terms of his ranking because he's got no points to defend until Rome, right? So I think he'll easily stay number 2 in the world this year even. Because probably he's so far ahead of Zverev and the rest that that's almost certain. But I don't see him winning 2 from the next 3 slams. Bearing in mind, statistically, we've had his best slam. The next 3 are he's never won. He's won 1. And how many US Opens has he won? I'm thinking 1. You think Alcaraz has separated himself? I'm not quite so sure about that. Let's see how he does in the rest of this tournament even. Because I think to separate yourself, you really have to be looking at probably winning 3 of the 4 slams this year and at least probably Indian Wells and putting 2,000 or 3,000 points between you and Yannick. And separating yourself will mean he needs to be beating Yannick in all their matches this year. Let's say they play 3 times. So I'm not saying he won't separate himself from the bunch, but I think it's too early to say he separated himself from the bunch. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. I mean, there was a paper-thin margin between him and Karen Khachanov yesterday. So that's my point on the separation from the bunch scenario. I'm not sure that Rublev will be a test, Gene. Has Rublev beaten him once when he was injured in Madrid? What are your thoughts on Fonseca, by the way? Yeah, 4-1 is the head-to-head. And that one win, was when Alcaraz was injured in Madrid. And even then, it went 3 sets. So I'm not so sure. Yeah, Ruby's the defending champion. All right. And they did have 3 sets in Cincinnati. I didn't realize that. I just don't think it's a great matchup for Ruby. Okay, that's interesting. Center court is slower than court 1 or others. Okay. I'm guessing, though, that Mensik played Sinner on center. Yeah, he is in a bit of a slump. Yeah, a little bit. Jessica Pegula's in a bit of a slump as well right now. Just going to change this headline. So we've got Pegula against Anisimova in there. Yeah, regarding João Fonseca. Let's talk about him for a moment or two. Not too concerned. What I will say is, looking back at that match last night, is the return for João. The return is an issue, and it wasn't one that he was even capable of fixing last night. Yeah, I've got a few things to say about the return. He tried a few different things in the first set, I think it was. Obviously, that's a set he won. But he couldn't read the Busa serve at all. Kind of crazy in a way. Busa was hitting Double faults followed by ace, followed by unreturn, followed by double fault, followed by ace. And that was that was quite a few games. Really, yeah, exactly. A very poor percentage of I think listen, I think before it becomes a concern is if that happens across Miami and Indian Wells, which is obviously a slow, hard court, and one where I think Zhao should excel. Plus, with Arthur Feast and Jack Draper obviously still feeling their way back on the tour, there are some semi-final spots in Indian Wells up for grabs, in my opinion. Is Djokovic playing Indian Wells? Do we know? Is he on the entry list? I mean, Zverev, when was the what's his Indian Wells? He's never been in an Indian Wells final. So can you trust him? Really, not really. Musetti's out injured still at the moment. I think he's targeting a return at Indian Wells, but we're not there yet. De Minaur, I don't recall him being in a semi in Indian Wells, and Felix neither. Taylor, of course, has won the title, but can João Fonseca beat Taylor Fritz? I think he probably can when things are firing. Ben Shelton, be very interesting to see how he does at Indian Wells. I think he's not done well there in the past, but let's see. What did Shelton do the last couple of years at Indian Wells? What I'm saying is that there's a couple of, at least two semifinals spots up for grabs. Oh, we lost to Draper in the quarters. I mean, that's obviously not too bad going out to the eventual winner, especially as though Draper was in the best form of his life. 2024, he lost to Sinner in straights at Indian Wells. 2023, lost to Fritz in 3. Someone that he's obviously just beaten recently in 3. But that was, of course, when Fritz was the defending champion. So he's always won matches there, but he's never been beyond the quarters. So I think it's time for Shelton to improve upon that record. Bublik, well, who knows what Bublik is going to turn up. I mean, he's more consistent than he used to be, but yeah. Medvedev, maybe a little renaissance for him in the desert. He's been in the final, obviously, a couple of times. Draper, I guess he's playing. Casper Ruud, he's certainly one to watch out for. I know he's never done well in the desert before, but he should have done. Casper Ruud. He's going deep. Jake, hey, how are you? Been listening to The Who for the first time. Okay. He's made the semis, I think, Gene. I think he got to the... Didn't he lose to Carlos in the semis in 2024, maybe? 2023. Although maybe it was the quarters. Maybe I'm getting confused because actually I think it was a Friday. The Bees, right? The Bees match. That was probably the quarters. You're probably right, actually. Yeah, that loss to Steph the other day was, yeah, not comfortable. Jake, by the way, I've already shown this once, but I'm going to show it again. Ta-da. Thanks to Jake. Right now, that's just going to be behind me because obviously I've just got it and I'm going live. I've gone live. But that will get a prominent place where we'll see it on a lot of streams, I hope. So we've been talking about a lot of things tennis related, just for a change, Jake. And I've had lots of questions from Gene in the live chat, but it'd be great to hear some questions from you and Edits as well. I see you, Edit Sport 022. Give Edits. By the way, I don't know your real name, Edit Sport 022. We've communicated a lot over the years, of course. But yeah, get some questions in. I'll do my best to answer them. Yeah. I just wonder if it might come a bit too soon for Feast, but then he's doing well in Doha, so. Hey, Raz, there we go. So I need some questions from Raz and from Jake, but more questions from Gene as well. Questions, but also thoughts, perhaps. Maybe you've got some controversial thoughts. This is the 11 to 22 in the men's ranking right now. Oh, by the way, I missed a break. Jessica Pegula broke back. Deary me, Johnny boy. Talking about all things tennis, but missing the actual tennis going on in front of my eyes. Is this the beginning of a Pegula comeback? Yeah. I can just see Feast losing early in Indian Wells, and we go, yeah, this is just a little bit too soon for him. Where is Feast ranked? Oh dear, he's down to 40, so he's not going to be seeded in Indian Wells, right? So Anisimova was up a set and a break, but now that has changed. We're back on serve. Yeah, get your questions in the live chat. I'll address them in a moment. Okay, some questions coming in maybe. Is this live ranking? No, it's not. No, it's not live ranking, Gene. It's just the latest ranking in the ATP rankings. Live ranking, I see, has Alex Eala, by the way, at number 32 in the world. That might not hold if Rusic goes on to take the title. Got a break point here for Anisimova, by the way. And she's not going to take it with that slice. The reason I mention it is because we've got a live poll right now, which is, where do we think Eala will be year end? I'm thinking somewhere between 20 and I think I've got 20 to 50 in the ranking. And I would vote that. That's what I would vote. Let's have a quick look at the poll actually to see what people have voted for. But I would vote 20 to 50, largely because she had that incredible. So she's 32 right now. And she had the incredible run in Miami. That's obviously got to be defended. And then, is she going to be picking up many points on clay? Probably not. So we might see her ranking progress a little more. Obviously, if she gets a win or two in Indian Wells, which there's no guarantee she will. Depends on her draw. I think she's going to be seeded in Indian Wells, right? But we might see it creep up. You top 30, you think, by the year end? Yeah, but not top 20 for me. Not this year, anyway. Good to see some challenger chat. Gene, do you watch many challengers? And I don't mean the movie. Okay, another break point here for Anisimova. Oh, and she's dumped another one into the net on that break point. Oh, dear. Yeah, I think we'd have a bit of a meltdown from Anisimova. What do we think about Mina Andreeva right now, by the way? What do we think about Mina Andreeva? I'm not quite sure where we're at with her right now, to be honest. Jessica Pegula is going to go long again on the backhand, so we're going to have another break point. Of course, if Anisimova was to get the break here, that would be pretty wild and set her up probably for the victory. She'd be just 2 games away. Yes, it does feel like that, Gene. How do we think? Oh, wonderful backhand down the line from Anisimova, pointing to her head. Best backhand in women's tennis. She's definitely in that conversation. Who else is in that conversation? Coco, maybe? I want backhands in women's tennis. I need some backhanders. Who am I ignoring? Coco, Anisimova, Sabalenka, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure she's quite got that unerring consistency of the other two. And the thing is with Sabalenka, she has a lot of weapons, and so perhaps it detracts from the backhand. Yeah. I want to know who's top three, though. Who's top three, Jake? If Pegula's not top three, who's top three? I don't know if I'm putting Sabalenka top three. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Mira's backhand, it's very, very good. But when we think of great backhands, don't they need to be a little bit aggressive? And I know you might say Gauff is a defensive player, as in like that's her biggest strength. But the backhand is so good and got so much depth that it might not produce quite as many winners as Anisimova. But does Mira produce that many backhand winners from neutral, for example? Or she does put opponents in trouble, but there's a lot of slicing and yeah. Andreeva, by the way, what would you say is her biggest strength? I mean, obviously fighting and defending as well. I thought about Iga, but I don't think when we talk about Iga, that used to be a topic of conversation as maybe a potential weakness. But I think it was probably because we were focusing so much on how much of a strength the forehand was. But that conversation, of course, has changed a bit in the last 12 months, particularly as we see her get rushed on the forehand side. I think it's tricky to get a third one. What about Rybakina, by the way? I mean, maybe that's an area that she's improved on. By the way, we might get a break back here for Jess. Love 30 here, by the way. Forehand from Anisimova into the backhand of Pegula. And Anisimova's going to go long with that backhand, and we're going to have love 40. Deary me. Oh, wow, we just gained a subscriber. 14 subscribers until the end of this stream. It would have to be Reba. What would have to be Rybakina, Jake? $15.40. It's a good serve down the tee that set up a +1 and then a smash. So 1 break point saved. Yeah, but I don't know. Jake, what are you saying? Rybakina third? It would have to be Rybakina, but third one you can make a mention of a few. Oh, I see, yeah. So you are putting Rybakina at third. But yeah, I think for me, the interesting thing about putting Gauff and Anisimova is Pegula going to get this. Why are you going that way, Jess? But you've got lucky there with that net cord. But is Anisimova going to get this? No. Jess got lucky with the net cord there. I don't know why she went across, but she got lucky. So she chases down a drop shot and then dinks it across the net, right? But I thought she should have gone line here. We're watching the replay now. So she chases this down. For me, there's a gaping gap down the line that she's got to go for. But she actually won the point, not because of the election of going back cross, dinking it across, but because it clipped the net. Honestly, I mean, okay, net cords. If you get a net cord, by the way, how often do you win the point, do you think? I'm going to say 75%. Because there's probably about half of net cords like that one. You put it down and you've won the point because of it. Some are obviously dead net cords and that's that. But there's probably half of net cords that don't really change the point so much. In fact, clips the net, sits up nicely, the opponent puts a winner away. But 50% of net cords do benefit you a lot. And I think that one benefited Pegula a lot. She's now going to be at 5-4, by the way. Is net cord part skill? Is a net cord part skill? I'm not quite sure if I get the skill element. I don't think anyone's aiming for a net cord. By the way, that scoreboard hasn't updated yet. We have got a... Has she landed that backhand? Oh, she has. Wow. Amanda Anisimova, even by your standards, that net cord was sensational. Sorry, that net cord, that backhand on the line. By the way, spread the word. Click share on this stream. And you can share it on your socials. And tell people to subscribe. Because if they subscribe, then I can rest. Oh, we're going to have a watch-along for Jaime Faria against Thomas Martin Echeverri today. So please join us for that. It's going to be Fergus and I think... Oh, and Pegula's held for 5-4. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's going to be Fergus and Zach will be bringing you that one. By the way, Faria again in the quarter. He made the quarters last year, didn't he, in Rio? And he went out to... Who did he go out to in the quarters last year? Someone remind me in the live chat. He beat Munar in the round of 16. Yeah, someone in the live chat, let me know. $5-4. How difficult mentally is this going to be for Anisimova? Bearing in mind, she was up a set and a break on 2 separate occasions in this set, including 4-3. 6-1, 4-3. Carabelli. Not semis. I think it was quarters, Raz. I think it was quarters to Carabelli. Was it this? Was it the semis? I think it was the quarters. Oh, okay. So in Rosario, in the Rosario Challenger, was that the same? Yeah, quarters. But when you say Jaime Faria played Carabelli, did he in Rosario? I didn't know Faria played Rosario last year. Oh dear, love 15. Love 15. By the way, Jaime, I have said it for a while that he broke into the top 100 and got injured and had to skip the Sunshine Double, rushed back for Estoril. Didn't really, for me, look super healthy until the clay. Hi, Scott, by the way. Sorry for just seeing your comment there in the chat. Scott, you must have a a take on. I would love to get your takes on João Fonseca and Alex Eala. Oh my goodness me. Pegula. Love 30 now. By the way, the way I reacted to that probably sounded like Pegula had messed up. But actually, it was because she did incredible defense. And then, I mean, Anisimova should not be coming to the net there. And if she does, don't hover in no man's land. Yeah, I want to get your takes. Not just you, Scott, anyone in the live chat, because I've not seen enough Alex Eala and João Fonseca takes in the chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think he did play Rosario last year. Oh, I think we've just lost a subscriber. How about that? Which means I'm going to be here even longer. I've vowed to stay live until we get to 25,000 subscribers. So, I watched a documentary this week about people not surviving when they climb Everest, and then their bodies are just frozen. I feel like maybe that's how I'll be if we don't ever get to 25,000 subscribers, and I just have to stay here forever. 1540, 2 set points for Jessica Pegula. So I think it's time I honed in on this match, because from 4-3 with a break, Pegula's won back-to-back games, including breaking back, and now she might be breaking bad. How about that? Missed the first serve. Second serve here for Pegula to look at. This doesn't feel good if you're an Amanda Anisimova fan, I have to say. Particularly given the head-to-head. Particularly given the nature of the match. Decent forehand return from Pegula. In fact, it's a really good one. But nice depth there from Anisimova, to be fair. Now we're probably in advantage Anisimova in the rally. But now it is advantage Anisimova because Pegula can't deal with that backhand. 30-40. But I'm not sure if Ayala's going through a rough moment, Scott. I think she's going through a pretty good moment. Career high, 32. João, yeah. I mean, unfortunately for João, it might be one of those ones that he always struggles in Rio. Oh, my goodness me. A mishit forehand from Anisimova sails so far long, it's almost reached Indian Wells already 10 days early. And as a result, Pegula gets the break and the second set. We're going 3, ladies and gentlemen. But to give you a reminder, Anisimova was up 6-love, 2-love, and then 6-love, 4-3 with a break. Okay. Let's have a quick look at the stats. First serves 1 from Anisimova in that set, 41%. Maybe she's not hitting them big enough. Oh, my goodness me. Anisimova, by the way, 2 from 7 on break points in that set alone. I mean, obviously, she broke twice. So, yeah. She must have been broken 3 times, yeah. João Fonseca. Okay, here's my take. I've already said it, I think, once, but I'll reprise it and maybe add a little bit more. I felt as though, if I even sent a WhatsApp to Brenner midway through the second set, that I think talent will win out here. That even though I didn't think João was playing his best, you know, the shot making from João was on another level above Busa. And by the way, as when it comes to serving, I think both are very, very, very good servers. And I would put the rest of Zhao's game ahead of Boussa's. And even in the third set, when he was down a break, I still thought he's coming back, but he wasn't really getting a look at Boussa's serves. And by the way, when he was getting a look, it was because Boussa was double faulting. It was such a strange return performance from him. In particular, inability to get his racket on serves that weren't hitting the spots. So I saw some aces. There was one down the tee that struck with me, actually, that seemed to be a good serve down the tee. But I expected Zhao to get his racket on it and get one of those sort of loopy ones that sort of land just, back inside the court. There was an excellent point, by the way, in I think the 6th or 7th game of the third set. That was incredible. But are you talking about the ace down the tee? I think it was a bit earlier than that, Raz. And he didn't even get his racket on it. And he almost pulled his racket away. It was a bit strange. And in fact, there was a serve from Fonseca, I think in the next service game, goes down the tee, and Boussa gets his racket on it, and it lands back on the island. And I thought, there you go, that's what you should be doing. If anyone remembers the returns that Rafa put back in play for these 3 Australian Open finals, against Djokovic in 2012 on championship point, against Federer in 2017 on championship point. If you remember those returns that he gets his racket on, they land short, and both Federer and Djokovic put them away. Albeit Federer's obviously super close. There was the old challenge, wasn't there? And Rafa didn't know if it landed in and shrugged his shoulders. But then there's one that Medvedev puts down the tee on break point at 5-all in the Australian Open final of 2022. Think about those 3 returns. And this was on slow clay, by the way, and didn't hit the spot, in my opinion. I don't know why or how he didn't get his rack on it. Then there were other serves. There was another element to this as well. By the way, we've got some game points here for Jessica on her serve, and she's taken it 1-love. There was also some other moments when he was hitting aces with serves that weren't, I didn't think they were. Boussa's a really good server, by the way. But Fonseca couldn't get a read on the serve at all. And I think that that was that, really. I mean, in that third set, I kept thinking he's going to get some break points and he's going to get back on serve. And it just never happened. A typical service game, by the way, in that final set was like ace down the tee, unreturned, double fault, ace out wide, double fault unreturned. Something like that. And it was all pretty short stuff, which obviously wasn't doing Zhao much good because it didn't really give him a chance to get into the rallies. But I guess he only had himself to blame. Now, also, how much of it is the back injury that he had at the beginning of the year, and how much of it is pressure of playing at home, which I do think has been a small factor the last 2 years in particular. I think the first year it was all fun and it was always, every single game or match that he won was a bonus, including, of course, that one against Artefis. Thank you very much for that latest subscriber, by the way. So that's my in-depth take on João Fonseca. I'd love to hear your thoughts on João in the live chat. So that is that. I think I've given you a pretty in-depth, hopefully not too chaotic explanation. I was watching it through squinted eyes at 3 o'clock this morning, by the way. So my memory of it is not super clear, but that's what I remember seeing a lot. And the first set, of course, was super tight. But again, I thought Zhao's winning this either as he did 7-5 or on the tie break. I thought he'd win it. And like I say, when he was down a break in the third, I was like, he's going to get some chances and he's going to break back. But no, and that was that. But I'm not pressing the panic button yet with Zhao. I think if we have a disappointing Sunshine double, yeah. I mean, obviously 1 win from 3 tournaments this year. So 1 win, 3 losses, I think, is his record this year. But when you look at it, injured going into the Australian Open. I think he withdrew, didn't he, from Brisbane, I'm going to say. Then he chose to play Adelaide, maybe. And that sort of attracted a little bit of criticism. But he said, look, I don't regret playing that tournament prior to Australia. clearly didn't have enough time on the court. And by the way, lost to an excellent Spitz-City, didn't he? Who showed his worth in that in the match with Yannick Sinner. Was it 1 or 2 rounds later? Well, it's a horrible backhand drive there from Anisimova at the net. So yeah. Any more João Fonseca thoughts? Yeah. Miami, some points to defend. Indian Wells as well. I think he had 1 win, did he, last year in Indian Wells, I'm going to say. And then maybe 1 or 2 wins in Miami. He beat Lerner Tien, didn't he, in Miami? That was a great match. And then he had a great match with Dimonor, didn't he? Oh, he beat Humbert as well. I forgot about that. That was probably his most impressive performance, actually, in the tournament. That straight sets win over Humbert. I forgot about that. So, yeah, he's got a few points to defend there. And then Indian Wells, he beat Fernley, who he also beat at Wimbledon, didn't he? I think a few months later. Before going, that was a very humbling loss, I would suggest, to Jack Draper, by the way. 4-0. Did he lose to Jack at the French Open as well? Who did he lose to at the French Open? Was it Jack Draper? Yeah, that's a disappointing one, I think. That 3-set loss to Jack, because that shouldn't be. I'm not saying that. I'm not falling down the rabbit hole of Zhao being best on clay and he's a clay court, goat, etc. Because I think he's actually really good across all the surfaces, and it's quite difficult for me right now to pick out one that is better than the others. But yeah. By the way, who would like to hear my little rant on Alex Eala that I posted yesterday on social media? I will play it at the next change of ends. We've got Anisimova here, who was up comfortably on her serve, but is now close to being then got to deuce and in a bit of a dogfight for this hold. But yeah, I'm gonna play at the next change of ends. So it's obviously not even 1-1 yet, especially she's just missed that backhand, Anisimova. But I will play because I'm actually getting low on battery as well. Oh, we've just gained a subscriber. So thanks for that. I agree, Gene. Get your thoughts in on Eala and Fonseca in the live chat. And as I said, at the next change of ends, who's going to be year-end number 3, by the way? That's also a good question. Who's going to be year-end number 3? And who's in the conversation for that? Who's in the conversation for year-end number 3? If he was fit, Jack Draper would be. Shelton is in the conversation for me. Djokovic, of course, is in the conversation. And Anisimov is held, by the way, for 1-1. I think it's too big a gap right now for Artifice. And in health and all the rest of it, he just needs to get fit and win some matches and maybe get back in the top 10 if he can. What's Artifice's career high, by the way? I say back in the top 10. I feel like he has been in the top 10, right? Who else is in the running? Zverev, of course, who is currently number 3. Oh, his career high is number 14, is it? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he'd gone higher than that. I think if he's going to be aiming for that kind of level, I think it might be 2027. Who else? Is Dimonor and Musetti, are they in the conversation? Because I must say, I probably wouldn't have put them in the conversation. But in a way, the way they've started this year, those two with the eye test, Djokovic's incredible run to the final in Australia aside, they are the next taxis on the rank, aren't they? It just feels strange to me to be talking about either of those two as the 3rd best player in the world, but maybe I'm an idiot. Runa, we're not. When are we going to see Runa back on the tennis court, by the way? No hurry, of course, but French Open? Is that was when he got injured, and I knew the nature of his injury. That was my kind of, what's the word? Most optimistic scenario for him. And most pessimistic was US Open. But I also think that the natural surfaces in terms of the injury he had are, the easier way. Maybe grass might be the easiest for that tendon. So, yeah, somewhere in that's obviously a big window of 2 months, basically, from the French Open, or 3 months, is it? End of May, end of June, end of July, end of August. Yeah, so 3 months, isn't it, between French Open and US Open. Pegula here serving at 1-all, 30-all. Because Runa would normally be in a conversation for third best in the world. I don't think Felix is in the conversation, personally. And I don't know if Taylor is either. Taylor Fritz's career high, by the way. What's Taylor Fritz's career high? Probably is 3, isn't it? Something like that. But I'm talking about right now. I would probably put him behind most of the players I've just highlighted. I know Ben is currently 1 spot behind him in the world rankings, but I'd have Ben ahead of Taylor as a potential number 3 come the year end 2026. Bublik is, as much as he's improved, in particular in terms of consistency, he's not going to be year end number 3. I mean, probably has to make a Grand Slam final to do that because he's just not consistent enough across the rest of the tour. Medvedev, no. Draper, if he was fit, sure. He was in that conversation probably 6 to 12 months ago and still until Wimbledon. Ooh, that slice from Anisimova. Didn't do the trick. Didn't get over the net. Do we feel as though Davidovich Fokina is kind of maxing himself out? What's his ceiling? I think his ceiling is 7, 8, 9, 10. Davidovich Fokina. He's just got to get a title anyway. I mean, more than ranking. Wonderful backhand cross-court winner there from Anisimova, by the way. Casper Ruud. Did he get to number 2, Casper? I think pretty sure he got to 3, didn't he? Look out for Casper in Indian Wells. I know it's not happened for him until now, but it's going to happen. Mensik, by the way. Maybe I should have gone for Mensik in my year-end top 10. Looking at it. Oh, wonderful forehand cross-court winner in behind Anisimova there. Cerundolo. I think, not saying he's in the conversation for number 3 in the world, but I think he's top 10. That's going to happen, I think. Not sure, but I'd put it more than 50-50 chance that Cerundolo at some point in his career makes the top 10. And I think this year could be the year. If he can maintain what he's capable of, which we know across the Sunshine Double, where he's done well in the past, particularly in Miami. Pick up those grass court wins that we know he can get, and maybe even a title. Yeah. Top 10, here he comes. Maybe if he can get there, maybe if he can really put his foot down now, really, until Wimbledon. Oh, was it number 2? Was it for Casper? Yeah, I knew he came within 1 match of making number 1, that US Open final. We are now 12 subscribers away from reaching our goal of 25,000 subscribers. And I said, I will stay live until then. I think we've added, I'm going to say 8 subscribers. No, maybe less. No, 6. We've added 6 subscribers since this stream began. A forehand goes into the net from Anisimova. And this stream began over an hour ago. So at this rate, we might be here for 3 hours. Mind you, at this rate, this match might be going another 3 hours. I mean, these service games for both players at the beginning of this second set, at the beginning of this third set, have been a real slog. Hit that like button. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe. Oh, she's missed that forehand, Pegula, on game point. What things have I missed in the live chat? Anything Yeah, exactly. The final. He wins that final, but I thought it was number 3, but he might have been number 2. If he wins that final, he goes to world number 1. And people have sort of said, "Oh, that's crazy." But the thing is, he was in the French Open final, and if he won the US Open, in a year where Rafa won 2 slams but was injured for most of the second half of the year, Djokovic was absent, of course, as we know, for large parts because of not being able to play tournaments due to not being vaccinated. I mean, you can only beat what's in front of you. And if Casper beats Carlos Alcaraz in that final, I mean, he might have just been number 1 for a couple of weeks, but I mean, that run for me, for Casper, was all about beating Berrettini. Pegula's held, by the way. Okay, let's have a listen to, and we will talk about the golden swing when I come back, but let's just quickly listen to my rant about the people that are upset about the support that Alex Eala is getting. I want to address something right now, which is going on social media, and it's regarding Alex Eala. And it's people getting angry and upset when Alex Eala loses a tennis match, by the way. They're going, "Look, see, this is why you shouldn't be so hyping her up. What is this hype all about?" Let me tell you now, there is no Alex Eala hype. She is living in your heads rent-free, as are the fans, by the way, which I think is a marvelous thing for tennis. And as someone who wants tennis to expand and be welcomed in other parts of the world and welcome those into tennis with open arms, you guys that are actually trying to quell that are actually saying, "No, I want to keep tennis just for me and the small amount of elites that already are within the sport. I want to see it expand," and I'm wonderfully welcoming to a part of the world such as the Philippines, which has been yearning and is obviously desperate for a sports star to fill the chasm, the void that is obvious and apparent in the wake of the retirement of Manny Pacquiao. Now they have it in Alex Eala. No one is saying that Alex Eala is going to be a Grand Slam winner anytime soon or reaching world number 1. And by the way, this is where you guys that are feeling in the hate on her and saying, "Why are you hyping her up?" No one's hyping her up. And we know that you're conflating the two issues of hype and excitement and drama, all of which Alex Eala definitely brings to tennis. But it's obvious that you're getting the two conflated because you actually get more angry in the wake of an Alex Eala loss, going, "Look, there you go, that proves it. That shows that she's not going to be doing this." No one, you won't find one single expert former player suggesting she's going to be making top 10 or even possibly top 20. And yet she is world number 32. She's the 32nd best tennis player in the world. That is what she's being recognized for in terms of her tennis ability. But of course, there's a much more wider significance. And if you look at a bit of tennis history, I think it's quite important. You become to realize that not everybody is just about winning titles, about what they can bring to the sport. And what Alex Eala is certainly delivering right now in terms of fandom and interest in the sport. I sometimes wonder, by the way, those of you that are getting really annoyed by this, you're actually really angry about the excitement that she brings and the seats that she fills within a stadium. I sometimes wonder if you get tennis, if you get sport, or even if you get life. Yeah. It's kind of weird. That was a word that I wish I'd used as well, among the other words that I probably repeated a few times. It's just weird. What? To react to a loss saying, "Look, told you she's not winning. This is why the hype is." It's just weird. Somebody in the live chat yesterday did a crying emoji. Said it was sad that she was getting so much support. It was so weird. The Eala fandom, though, is different, Matthew. I mean, obviously, they're screaming a lot during her matches, and they're new to tennis, so they're probably not quite sure when to scream, but not scream. I mean, I do find it a bit annoying, I think, I hope I'm not falling into the weird anti-Eala fandom with this, but I do find it a bit annoying when I'm long before Eala, watching tennis over the last 30 odd years or so, when people would scream about a point because they thought it had finished. And I'm like, the point hasn't finished yet. Mind you, even Daniel Altmaier can do that, and he's a professional tennis player. He was like, he thought I think his drop shot, he thought wasn't going to make it over the net. It did make it over the net and was won in the point, but he lost it through hindrance. I thought that was very amusing. Break point here for Jessica Pegula, by the way. 12 subscribers, and this stream ends, by the way. Deary me, Anisimova there with that forehand. And this feels mental right now. Not mental as in crazy, but as in like, I think Pegula's living in Asimova's head rent-free. And she gets the break, 3-1. So what is that? That is 6 of the last 7 games have gone the way of Pegula. And it's 2 forehand errors from Anisimova that she should have made. Both of them. But now she's down a break. Maybe she can relax. Yeah, of course, Raz. Yeah, of course. And by the way, when it was 2-love and 4-3, I don't know if she had. I vaguely remember the hold that Pegula had when she was 2-love down wasn't easy, so it could have been a double break. And then at 4-3, I think actually Pegula raced into a love 40 scenario and broke back at 30-40. I think. So that wasn't quite such a screenshot. But yeah, 6-1, 4-3, 6-1, 2-love. I mean, 6-1, 2-love is also, I mean, you're just crushing it at that point, aren't you? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, that's a nice volley from Anisimova. That was a great point, by the way. Am I looking forward to the World Cup? Jake, honestly, not that much. No. International football doesn't really do it for me. It used to. It used to do it for me. I won't deny that. And I will get involved and I will watch the matches and enjoy, because I love sport and I love football, of course. But it doesn't mean the same as what it used to. Okay, love 15 here. By the way, Faria against Echeverri later on. We're going to have a stream for that. Do you play FPL? FPL? Football Professional League? No, I'm not a professional footballer, Raz. What was I going to say? Yeah, live stream later on for Faria against Echeverri with Fergus. Oh, Fantasy Premier League. No, I don't know. No. Yeah, Fergus and I think Zach will join. Daisy might join, but it's not sure yet. Forehand here into the backhand of... Ooh, 30 all. Backhand from Pegula goes into the net. Okay. How we doing? Okay, my stream is frozen. Got so many windows open. I probably need to close a few. What's going on in the live chat that you want to unsend? You'll get it when you see Harry Kane from the World Cup. Oh, Pegula holds for 4-1, by the way. I'll be pleased for Harry, and I'll be pleased for some of the players, and probably I will be. It depends on who England are playing, but probably I'll be like, yes, I want England to win, but I won't feel it. I know that because I've been watching football for such a long time, and I know I've been watching England at close quarters. I was in Japan in 2002. I was in Portugal in 2004. I was in Germany in 2006. I was also in Switzerland in 2008, even though England weren't there. I was in South Africa. I was in Bloemfontein, for example, when that Lampard shot went over the line, and remember driving back to Johannesburg after the game. I would say that was the last time, 2010, that I felt it. Felt the disappointment of England losing and felt the glory of England winning and goals and frustration. Remember the game against Algeria, I think it was, the second game of that World Cup. And Rooney shouts down the camera. That was the last time I think I felt it. And England have been in... I was at the final in Berlin 2 years ago in the Euros final. I didn't really care. Even when England equalised in that match, right? It was 1-0, 1-1, 2-1. Is that right? Or was it 2-0, 2-1? See, that's how I used to know forensically and minute by minute almost how football panned out. But with England now, I barely know. And I don't really watch any of the matches when it comes to friendlies or qualifiers. I used to watch them all, mainly because there was so much tension involved because you never knew if England would have qualified. But now there's 150 teams qualifying for the World Cup and 2,000 teams in the Euros. I mean, yeah, it's taken all the interest away from that. But also just feeling it. I remember in Ukraine and Poland, that tournament in 2012, and I went to the quarterfinal against Italy that we lost on penalties. And I remember thinking, oh, well, if England go out, it means I can get to the UK and start work quicker. I never used to think like that. Oh, football was way ahead of tennis. And now it still is in a way. In terms of raw emotion, yeah, in terms of like cheering and screaming and affecting my mood, football is still ahead of tennis. I probably just follow tennis more closely, especially because in football, I'm watching Man United, but I'm not watching a lot else. Yes, I watched Arsenal capitulate against Wolves the other night, and how fun was that, by the way? I watch our rivals for sure, and when things are interesting in a title race like they are this year. But I used to, as a kid, watch it all, and watch Match of the Day and everything else, and even as a young adult. Anyway, what's going on? Feast, Mensik, Tiafo, Tien, Rude versus Korda. 3 tasty matches today. I think Feast, Tiafo, and Rude win. Yeah, Rude makes sense. Tiafo, not sure. I'm not sure about your Feast call either. But I haven't seen enough men's tennis on a hard court this week to make much of a call regarding those matches because I have watched men's matches this week, but I'm more interested in Rio than Delray Beach or... Oh, she made that cross-court winner? Yes. Jessica Pegula, take a bow. Maybe, but wasn't Nadal, Djokovic a different day? I remember Nadal played Djokovic in that Wimbledon semi-final. I was in Moscow as well. I was disappointed when we lost to Croatia. I remember that. But I was also very like, oh, well, football, hey. Whereas I never used to be, oh, well, football, hey, when we lost Euro 96 semis to Germany. But also in Japan, gutted when we lost to Brazil after being 1-up. Michael Owen. Yeah, that Nadal-Djokovic match was on at the same time as the third place playoff against Belgium. And I was gutted. I couldn't find a bar in Moscow where I could watch Nadal against Djokovic. Raz, that's funny. That's a little bit of a gift there for Anisimova, that forehand sailing long from Pegula. Because really, this is a bit of a capitulation right now. I mean, Pegula's won 7 of the last 8 games. And at 30 all, you know, it could have been even worse. It still might be, of course. It's only a game point here. 1 game point for Anisimova. By the way, if you know... Oh, and she nets their juice. If you know anyone that might be interested in subscribing to Talking Tennis, send them a WhatsApp with a link to Talking Tennis and get them to hit the subscribe button. Or send them a message on Facebook or Snapchat or whatever your thing is. Because I want us to get to 25,000. I've got things to do tonight. I was going to go for a run potentially, but maybe that's going to have to be shelved. Game point again for Anisimova, by the way, as Pegula's lob sails long. It feels like we've been stuck 12 away for quite a while. There's obviously going to be the gap between this match and then the next one. When's Doha? When are the ATP Doha matches getting underway, by the way? They must have started, no? Oh, it's the semi-final stage. Okay. My bad. So semi-finals today. Okay, I thought it was quarters for some reason. Yeah. Oh, we just got a subscriber. Thank you for that. So we're 11 away. Who are Athletic Club de Bilbao playing, Jake? I'm the same, Jake. Yeah, I'm the same. I think I remember you asking me that sort of question before, which now I feel is a little bit more relevant or pointed or whatever the words I'm looking for. Nice hold there for Anisimova. Big hold as well. Having been pushed to deuce and having also lost 7 of the last 8 games, I think it was. Now it feels as though the match is not quite done yet. Top Gun Maverick, can you please hit the subscribe button? That would put us 10 away. 10 away. If you haven't already subscribed, by the way. If you hit subscribe, you'll see that number just tick over. 4-2. Elche, okay. I've been to Bilbao a few times, but I've never been to watch them play, either in their old or new stadium. Wanted to go last year. Really wanted to go. Or, yeah, last year for the Europa League final, desperately. But I had to work, so I couldn't go. And then, obviously, with the way it panned out, I'm kind of pleased. Top Gun Maverick, thank you very much for hitting subscribe, putting us 10 subscribers away from 25,000. Is there a lit of audience watching in the live game right now? What do you mean exactly? Is there a lot of audience? Oh, I see. Is there a lot of people inside the stadium? Yeah. Yeah. Pretty close to full, I would say. Arsenal, but do I think they will? No. And I've been saying it all season. I predicted Man City at the beginning of the year. Of course, as it looked like it was going to be 9 points 10, 11 days ago when they were 1-0 down to Liverpool, I was thinking, yeah, that would have been the league done then, wouldn't it? But as soon as they win that game, I thought, okay, this league is, I'm sticking with Man City. Probably that's the only time I doubted. But even before the game began, or during the first half against Liverpool, Man City were the better team. And I remember saying to my mate, Man City are winning this game. And so I was kind of surprised when yes, Liverpool had a good start to the second half. Good 15-minute spell, and of course, culminating in that crazy free kick from Sibierski. Sibierski? Didn't he play for Man City? Maybe I'm getting the pronunciation wrong there. Okay, we've got a game point now for Pegula. She wins this game, of course. That'll put her one game away. Pegula, one game away potentially from the final. Antoine Sevier, yeah. What's the guy's name for Liverpool? You see, it's a very interesting return from. Oh, I think she's going to win the point here, Pegula, surely, yeah. I think Anisimova will be disappointed with the way that. Oh no, she's not going to cry. I hope with the way that. I think she should have anticipated the redrop there. I think she should have seen that one because that was kind of all that was open to Pegula, really, given how far behind she was as she was scrambling to get the ball. There was only the opportunity for the redrop. And I felt as though, let me watch this replay again. It's a really interesting return, by the way. As she's coming to that, given the angle, actually, yeah, I think that she should have just closed in a bit to the net. Yeah, the Liverpool free kick that they scored against Man City. $10 subscribers away from 25,000. Remember, this stream is called Live for 25. Need to upload another interview with Alex Eala. I do want to do something actually on Eala and Leylah Fernandez and comparisons between the two, because I do see some similarities. Both lefties, both excellent from the back of the court. I think Leylah is better on clay and certainly has the better movement on that surface. Career high 13 as well. I see with the exception of that US Open US Open final that she had, I also see, that kind of career for Alex potentially. By the way, just having a quick look at Leylah Fernandez's Wikipedia page. Listen to this. Leylah Fernandez is a fan of the football clubs Real Madrid and Manchester City. Leylah, I love you, and I love watching you play tennis, and I really want to see you get back in a slam final again soon, but you can't support Real Madrid and Man City. I'm sorry. It's like saying, I love tennis and I'm a fan. My favorite players are Novak Djokovic, Rafa Nadal, and Roger Federer. I support them. Yes, definitely, Jake. Better tennis player than football taste. Yeah, that free kick was unstoppable. By the way, unstoppable was Anisimova in that game as she holds to love. But now, Jessica Pegula, for the 5th time, is going to serve for the match. I say not the 5th time today. That would be wild. Can you serve for a match 5 times? I think you can, yeah. If you're up 5-love in the second set, you'll get 3 chances to serve it outright. You'd also potentially get a 4th chance at 6-5. So you could serve for the match 4 times in one set, right? So if I've got my maths right, you could potentially fail to serve out a match 8 times. Am I right with that? I think so. I think you could potentially serve for a match 8 times. I wonder if that has ever happened in tennis. Has anyone? I'm going to put a tweet out. Just putting this tweet out. If it hasn't, so has anyone ever served for a match 8 times and failed on each occasion? And then how did the tiebreak go? And if it hasn't happened in professional tennis, what is the most number of attempts? I think it's 8. I think you've got a chance to do it 8 times, no, Raz? If you're up 5-love in the second set, you fail once, you fail twice, you fail 3 times. It gets back to 5-all, but then you could also have a chance to do it at 6-5, right? So that would be 4. Anyway, let me just talk about this point because it's 3 match points here for Jessica Pegula. Where's she going to go with the serve? Down the tee, but misses the first serve. But a second serve here for Anisimova to look at. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Pegula serving, 40-love. Is she going to serve this out? I think she is. Forehand return. It's going to go deep into the backhand of Pegula. Pegula on the defense, but she's hitting the ball back into the play. And Anisimova goes long with a forehand. Pegula, by the way, I haven't seen her that emotional after a win in a long time, even though she's won some pretty big titles in her career. She dropped her racket and kind of brought her hands to her head almost in disbelief. Hugs Amanda Anisimova almost sympathetically at the net. And that's that. Pegula was down 6-1 2-love. Then she was down 6-1 4-3. And by the way, Anisimova had a break. So she was 2 games away from the win. And she came back on both occasions. And once she got it back on serve in that second set for the second time at 4-3 down, you did kind of fear the worst, especially given the differential. If the head-to-head, which is now reading 5-0. There will be tweets, as various people say. By the way, just answer this question for me. I'm pretty sure it's possible to attempt to serve out a match 8 times. Let me know if I'm wrong. Yeah, exactly. So you have 4 chances in the second set and 4 chances in the third. I think that's possible, right? Raz, I want Raz and Jake to confirm. Because you failed serve out at 5-love. You failed serve out at 5-2. Oh my goodness me! Look at this anger from Anisimova, who just so annoyed at not winning this match. It was kind of a racket stab rather than a racket smash. Pegula signs the camera. Look at her. She was just can't believe it, I think. Threw her racket away. In disbelief there, Jess, at winning that match point. Jake and Raz, I need you to confirm before I haven't tweeted this yet, by the way, but I'm about to tweet it. Has anyone ever served for a match 8 times and failed on each occasion? And then how did the tiebreak go? If it hasn't happened in professional tennis, what is the most number of attempts? I mean, obviously that would just be a constant break fest. Oh, we just gained a subscriber. Yeah, but Raz, I'm not really worried about whether someone has done it or not. What I want to know is that I've got my maths right. I think you can try to serve for a match on 4 separate occasions in sets 2 and 3, and therefore it would be 8 times. In fact, I'm so confident I'm going to tweet it out. Okay. 9 away now from 25,000 subscribers. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do hit subscribe. Wonderful that we've got a lot of people watching on Instagram as well. Do give us a follow on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT. I didn't hear what that was about. She just said, I don't want to talk about it, Jess. Yep, going to go to the pub, Jake. There's a little microbrewery, I think it could be. A little pub around the corner. It used to be a butcher's and has now converted itself into a pub. How about that? They follow me on Instagram, actually, or they follow Talking Tennis on Instagram, but I don't remember the name right now. Give us a follow on Instagram at Talking Tennis TT. Let me see if I can find the name of this bar. About a week ago, they followed, and the name of the bar in Bonn is... Oh, maybe they unfollowed. That would be unusual, wouldn't it? Maybe they unfollowed. They were there on my followers. Can't remember the name of the bar. Yeah, I think they must have unfollowed. Oh. They gave us a follow. Maybe they got sick and tired of all the tennis content. Anyway. That's my dishwasher coming to an end. Oh, we've got 18 people, by the way, watching right now on YouTube. Some of you watching on YouTube right now will not have subscribed. So I'm saying to you, click that subscribe button, watch this number, just hit subscribe, watch the number tick over, and know that you have made a difference. Also, let me know in the live chat, what do we think about... I want predictions. Yeah, let's give me some predictions. Alcaraz versus Rublev and Feast versus Mensik. Who's winning? Alcaraz and Mensik feels right to me, but as I say, I haven't watched any of Doha this week. Wonderful. Thank you for hitting subscribe, by the way. That now pushes us 8 subscribers away from 25,000. Okay, let's have a look at some of these stats, by the way. From the match, 39 unforced errors from Anisimova, 21 from Pegula. Oh, sorry. Wait. No. Wait. 36 unforced errors from Anisimova and 12 from Pegula. To be fair, the quality was pretty high. Look at that. I mean, it's not always an indication of quality, I know, but still, both players hitting more winners than unforced errors. Doesn't happen very often. So Jessica Pegula is in the final, where she will await the winner of Coco Gauff and Elena Svitolina. I think I should update the title of this video, by the way. Yeah. So Pegula beats Anisimova again. 5-0 now they're head-to-head. Yeah, Alcaraz and Mensik. Let me know what you think in the live chat. I think I saw someone predict Feast, though. I think maybe Matthew went for Feast, didn't he? What about Delray Beach? What round are they at? They're at the quarters. Okay. Wong is in the quarters. I mean, they are quite good conditions, the level, but also hard court in North America, I think, for Wong is all right. Fritz, if he's healthy, should beat Paul. I would probably go for Tien over Tiafoe, but as I say, asterisk, I haven't seen any tennis this week. I'd be tempted to go for Coleman Wong against Kaboli. I just wonder if Kaboli can deal with the Coleman serve. So we're going to stay live until we get to 25,000 subscribers. We are 8 subscribers away right now, which I think we should be there in the next 45 minutes or so. Which, if the Gauff-Svitolina match is as swift as yesterday's between Eala and Gauff, then we might see the whole of the we might see the whole of the Svitolina versus Gauff, but we might not. We will take a quick break and then we'll be back.
Ready? Play.
I just want to talk about Fonseca for a second.
Sure. Oh, yeah, definitely. A conversation to be had.
There's been so much feedback online about how Fonseca is overrated and how, we need to, dial back expectation. I think everyone just needs to pump the brakes and just realize that the kid is still a teenager and that his ceiling is so massive, right? Ceiling is huge, and he could easily, make top 20 by end of the year. By Roland Garros. Could easily make top 20 by Roland Garros if he is fully fit and if he is firing, right? But just because he's had an injury and he's trying to come back from a big injury doesn't mean we should start thinking that he's not a good tennis player anymore, because he is. The amount of comments I see on people's on Twitter about, Fonseca is like so bad now, and it's like the guy's coming back from injury, cut him some slack, okay? Tabilo is not an easy comeback at all by any means. So just give him a little bit of time. Obviously, home tournament. I think it's better for him to have done it this way round now. He last year won Buenos Aires and then was absolutely gassed for Rio. Kind of good that he had some match practice in Buenos Aires and now is pumped for Rio. We know made quarters in 24, lost to Navone in 3, but was gassed that match, like completely whipped. So we know how good he is. Just give him a little bit of time and some match practice.
Agreed. And I think that's like a worthy note because, looking at his season, right? He's played 2 matches in 2026. Like, what sort of conversations are we having? And yes, we, if you're a true tennis fan, you watch that match against Missouri, nowhere close to being all there. And then obviously, like, the strides were there, and I think defending your title for the first time is obviously like a little bit more pressure. For all we know, like maybe it was good for him to rest another week. But regardless, as you mentioned, last year was really, really tough, especially going home, super fatigued, going against an Alexander Mueller who was just insane, didn't miss a ball, was an absolute physical freight train who ends up going to the final, losing to Baez. So we're looking at that matchup being like, it's a fine loss. It's a fair loss. But
for sure.
For me, it's like how, like, we're trying to just gauge his health, right? Like, I'm hearing more about the back problems. He had a chronic back injury, kind of similar to Arthur Fils. Obviously concerning, but these athletes, like, they've been with physios since they were 16. They have good teams behind them and understand that, like, when the time is right to play and when it wouldn't be. So I think he's okay. He's finding a way to manage. And as you mentioned, like, I think, yes, he went out early here, but on the flip side, he gets to go to Rio. He's been practicing there already and hopefully a little bit more fresh. So hoping for a exciting run in Rio for João Fonseca.
There he goes again.
João, a sua toalha, por favor. A sua toalha, por favor. Por favor, João Fonseca, a sua toalha. Vem aqui, João. Caralho. João, ele se ama, João. Vamos!
Gabriel. Conseguiu?
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Okay, we are back and we have 7 subscribers away from 25,000. I need to find the remote control. As I switch on Svitolina against Pegula. If you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. Once we hit 25, this will be the end of the stream. So we are 7 subscribers away from ending this stream. So if this stream is really annoying you right now, then click subscribe and then it'll be over sooner. The winner of Svitolina and Gauff will play Jessica Pegula in the final after she came from a set and a break down to beat Amanda Anisimova for the 5th time. They've played each other 5 times now, they're head-to-head, and all 5 will have gone the way of Jessica Pegula. Today, arguably the most painful loss for Anisimova among those 5. Obviously, they've played each other in a slam before in Australia recently, but given the nature of that loss, and we saw how Anisimova was frustrated at the end. So, Svitolina and Gauff. I'm going to have a quick look at their head-to-head in a moment. Of course, Svitolina won the most recent encounter very comfortably at the Australian Open. Okay. Oh, we've got a comment in the live chat. Going to go to Tesco to get some food for tonight, start the recycling, have a great day. Good. See you soon, Jake. Thanks for joining. Okay. Yeah, their last meeting coming in Australia, 6-1, 6-2 win for Svitolina. I did not see that, even that result coming. I think I tipped Coco to win it. Never mind the margin. And I'm tipping Coco again today. But I had Pegula beating Anisimova in 3 sets, and it happened. Oh, I'm just going to get my phone. Okay. Let me know in the live chat, where are you in the world watching this particular encounter between Coco Gauff and Alina Svitolina? Or maybe you're not watching, but you're just joining for the crack. Let me know where in the world you are tuning in from. I'm in Bonn in Western Germany. Win probability, by the way, has 55-45, Coco to Svitolina. I feel it's more of a 60-40, but yeah. I do get tennis predictions wrong sometimes. How do we feel about Anisimova, by the way, losing for a fifth consecutive time to Jessica Pegula? Yeah, by the way, this consistency from Jess, she's obviously now in the final. But look at that consistency. Her last 7 tournaments, she's made at least the semi-finals. And some pretty big ones as well. Think about it. US Open, Grand Slam. Beijing and Wuhan are both 1000s, I think, on the women's side. Wuhan, definitely. WTA finals, I mean, don't come much more competitive than that. The 8 best players on the tour for the year. Pretty much all top 10 players. Brisbane's a 500. AO is obviously a Grand Slam again, and then Dubai being a 1000. I mean, mega consistency. And she's now in the final. So she also made so she got to the semis at the US Open. Beijing and Wuhan, did she make the final of both of those? Semi-finals, WTA finals. Semi-finals in Australia. Final in Dubai. Incredible. Brisbane, I'm going to say semis, but I could be wrong. Yeah, lost to Kostyuk in the semis, 0-3. By the way, Pegula and Gauff, sorry, Svitolina and Gauff are underway. Gauff serving first and is up 15 love. In fact, it's going to be 30 love. We've got 17 people now watching on YouTube. If all of you hit subscribe who haven't subscribed, and statistically there's about 7 of you right now, if you all hit subscribe, that number below me would go over and over and over, and we'd get to 25,000. All of you, if you all hit subscribe right now, that number will get to 25,000. 40 love here for Coco Gauff, so 3 game points. I will share the score with you on the screen. And she's held to love. She's already a third of the way, by the way, Coco. She's already a third of the way of getting her game haul that she achieved in Australia. She got 3 games in Australia and she's on 1 right now. Gavin McMillan there. Looking very amused. Yeah, I feel as though that incredible win that Gauff had over Elise Mertens at this tournament, I just feel as though that could have been a corner turned in her 2026. Wow, that was a hell of a backhand cross-court there from Svitolina. Maybe she needs to be in the backhand conversation. And despite those heroics from Coco against Elise, I do think she'll be pretty fresh after a pretty short match against Alex Eala that went just beyond the hour. So 7 subscribers away from 25,000. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And then I can go and chill. $30 love here for Alina on her serve. As we see some Ukrainians in the crowd. 30-15. She's going to put the volley away. Yes, she is. 40-15. 2 game points for Eala to get to 1-1. Oh, we just lost a subscriber. How about that? Instead of being 7 away from 25,000, we're now 8 away. I think we'll be there before the end of this set. Oh, we just gained another one. Thank you. I think we'll get to 25,000 before the end of this set. I reckon we will. 1 game all, by the way, after 5 minutes. I remember us hitting 5,000 subscribers at the beginning of 2024. So that would have been 17 months after we started the channel. I think we got to 10,000 around about the summer of 2024, I'll say. And then 20,000, we hit that about maybe December. So maybe we've gotten for another 5,000 since December. I think it was late last year. Nice slice there from Coco, but wonderful forehand from both players, actually. And in the end, Svitolina dumps that forehand into the net. So, yeah, I think in the last maybe 3 months, we've had another 5,000, something like that. I think we got to 20,000 before the end of last year. Maybe about October, November. Coco misses the first serve. Even in that really easy win that Coco had, by the way, against Alex Eala, she still hit 8 double faults. And there's another one. 6 subscribers to go. 6 subscribers. Share the Talking Tennis. Share our stream. Share our homepage on YouTube with anyone you know and tell them to subscribe. And by the way, if they hit subscribe, and we only need 5 now, if they hit subscribe, they might be our 25,000th subscriber. How cool is that, by the way? You can get yourself a t-shirt, tell your parents, tell everyone you know, be proud that you were the 25,000th subscriber. And we're just 5 away from that landmark figure. I think we'll get there before the end of this set, but we need probably an epic set here. We probably need a 6-4 or even a tie break. Because I don't think 5 subscribers probably takes about half an hour to get 5 subscribers. Okay. $40-15 here for Coco. Do get in the live chat, by the way. Let me know who you think's winning, by the way. Who is winning this match? Just write G for Gauff or S for Svitolina. Get in the live chat, write G or S, and do it right now. And click return. Oh, it's a terrible forehand from Coco to make it 40-30. Okay, Gauff to serve. Misses the first serve. Second serve for Coco Gauff. After this game ends, actually, I'm going to have a quick look at the poll that I have on YouTube to see what you think about. Oh, she's Oh, it's a good second serve there from Coco. That was something that Eala found really difficult to deal with, by the way, yesterday. The second serve from Coco. Yeah, let's have a look at the poll on YouTube. Where will Alex Eala end this year? Okay. Quite a few votes as well. Most of you have gone top 20. That's pretty big, I would suggest. That's what we think for Eala's year-end ranking 2026. I think that's optimistic. I think it's optimistic. Yes, she's 32 in the world right now. But for me, I would vote top 50, as in between 20 and 50 in the world. 24% top 10, I think you're being very optimistic. If there was no clay season, maybe. Because actually, I think on the grass, I think she's all right. But that clay court season is going to be tough. I know she doesn't have a lot of points to defend, but I just think picking up points across Madrid and Rome and the French Open, we saw her have. I think she won one match in Madrid. Obviously, she got a set off Iga in Madrid, but that feels, I don't know, strange. And then I saw her get humbled by Pano Advardi in Huerash in a WTA 125 in Portugal. Madrid, yeah, she had one win, one loss. Rome and French Open, early exit there, right? First round in both tournaments. I think she was humbled there too. Okay, back to Coco Gauff against Elina Svitolina. The first point of the Svitolina service game here has gone Coco's way. Coco now is 2/3 of the way to getting the same number of games that she won in Australia. She won 3 games in Australia in the entire match. She's already won 2. Decent depth there on the forehand from Coco. Now she's got, oh, wonderful forehand winner. When she trusts her forehand like that, pretty good. And it's love 30 now. 11 minutes. She might reach the same number of games in 12 or 13 minutes here in Dubai that she achieved in the entire quarterfinal, was it, in Australia? Yeah, I think so. Between these two. I think it was quarterfinal. Svitolina, of course, lost to... Oh, good defending there from Svitolina. Really good defending with that squash shot that Coco couldn't deal with. Yeah. If you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed, click subscribe and watch that number just tick over and push us so tantalizingly close to the 25,000 subscriber mark. We are so close right now. 5 subscribers away. What a forehand that is from Coco. Talk about trusting your forehand. Wow. Do hit the like button on this video, by the way. And of course, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. Wow. Gauff breaks. An electric start indeed from Coco Gauff, putting her 3-1 up with an early break. She's already, as I say, equaled the same number of games. In 12 minutes, she got to that figure. But now it's the forehand breaking down there in that rally. So it is love 30 here on the Coco serve. $15.30. Don't forget, we will have a watch along this evening, brought to you by Fergus and Zach. And that watch along will be Jaime Faria against Thomas Martin Echeverri in Argentina. In Argentina. He is Argentina, Echeverri, but it's in Rio. Okay. Double fault. Another double fault from Coco gives 2 break-back opportunities for Elina Svitolina. Still need that 5 more subscribers. Which will happen first? We get to 25,000 subscribers or 10 double faults off the racket of Coco Gauff. She gets her first serve in there, much to her relief. But good defending from Svitolina. Wonderful backhand winner down the line, though, from Coco. 30-40. Forehand from Coco goes into the net, and we've got a break for Coco Gauff. So we're back on serve in this Dubai semi-final. 2-3. Just as it looked like Coco was getting in the groove, Svitolina has other ideas. I've put this tweet out, by the way. And if you do follow us on X at Talking Tennis 22, give it a retweet so we can boost our subscriber count and get us to 25K. I might have a little Coco Gauff interview I did. Yes, here we go. This is an interview I did with Coco Gauff just before she won her first Grand Slam title in the US Open of 2023. You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
There you go. That was the voice of Coco Gauff. And now it's 30 love. "19 minutes on the clock. Could be 3-all in a moment. It's going to be a second serve here for Coco to look at. It's a decent serve there from Svitolina, but she's dumped a backhand into the net, so it's 30-15. I've gone for Alcaraz and Alcaraz and Mensik to win their respective semi-finals in Doha. Good defending there from Coco, but she can't defend that. 40-30. Game point here for Elina Svitolina to make it 3-all. 20 minutes on the clock. Considering she was 3-1 down, she'll be pretty pleased about how the last couple of games have gone. But she won't be pleased with that backhand that she's just dumped into the net. Got her bearings all wrong there, did Elina. Deuce. We are still stuck at 24,955 subscribers. 995. What did I say? 955? 995. 5 subscribers away from 25,000. If you're watching right now and you click subscribe, you might just be, even if you aren't the one who is 25,000, you'll be one of the last ones to get us to that figure. Game point here for Elina Svitolina. There are probably 7 people watching right now who haven't subscribed. If you all hit that subscribe button, this number here, you'll watch it. Just watch it tick over. And you'll know that that was you. Okay, we're into the rally here. Good backhand down the line, but well defended by Svitolina. What a forehand that is from Gauff. When she was put in a hole, she responded. Look at that. What a player. Do we think Coco Gauff will make world number 1 at some point? I think she will at some point. I just don't know when. Might be next year. Just because the gap to Arena right now for pretty much everyone, but Coco included, is so big in terms of points. But the forehand let her down there. Not for the first time today or in her career. That's 6 now. Unforced errors on the forehand side today. Svitolina hasn't hit any. Game point for Elina and 3-all. Okay, 3-all it is. Okay, drop shot here from Coco is too good. 15 love. $15 all now. But Coco ekes out to 30-15, and now it gets to 40-15 for the American. F 4-3 now for Coco. Do get in the live chat, by the way. Who do you think is winning this encounter? Write S for Svitolina or G for Gauff. I went for Gauff pre-match. Actually, let's have a quick look at their head-to-head. Hmm. 2-2. Okay. 2 each. The last one, of course, was a humbling loss for Coco. The previous one to that was the US Open, round of 32, that Coco won. So they've played each other 4 times so far. Once in 2026, twice in 2024, and once in 2021. So they've played each other 4 times, and 3 of the 4 have been at Grand Slams. How about that? So they have played each other on the biggest occasions. They also played each other in the Auckland final of 2024. That went the way of Coco Gauff. Okay, Svitolina here serving 3-4. She was down an early break at 3-1, but then she won back-to-back games, including a break of serve, of course. And she is already up 15 love, and it's another forehand error from Coco Gauff. I don't know if that's 7 or 8 forehand errors she's hit now. Unforced errors, I should say. 15 people right now watching on YouTube. If all of you hit subscribe who haven't subscribed, you would see this number tick over to 25,000. I'm statistically, at least 5 of you haven't subscribed. So just hit it. We are live until we hit 25,000. Drop shot here from Coco is not going to be good enough. Svitolina is easily going to put that away for 30 love. Honestly, it wasn't the worst choice from Coco, but the execution was not great, let's say. That's being polite. Svitolina puts that backhand winner away comfortably. It was just too easy for her. She hasn't got Coco's speed, but she doesn't need it really when the ball's going to sit up that nicely for her. It's a nice volleyed winner for Svitolina to make it 40-love, by the way. Three-game points here for Elena Svitolina. First serve goes into the net. Second serve for Coco Gauff to look at. I said we could get to 25,000, by the way, subs before the end of this set. But I did say we're going to need to have a epic-ish set, as in a tie-break, 7-5, maybe 6-4. I think right now, because we're still 5 away, 6-4 won't be enough. Probably need to go to a tie-break. For all. Coco to serve into the first serve into the net. There we go. Fumbling and stumbling over my words. 30 minutes on the clock. At least Coco has made this a much better fight than the match was in Australia, where she lost with winning just 3 games across 2 sets. And she's won the first point here as Svitolina dumps her return into the net. So it's 15-love. Hi, Carson. Just seeing you join on Instagram. If you are watching on Instagram or on Twitch, do join our YouTube channel and hit subscribe. Some slices here from both players, but that last one from Coco is nowhere near technically good enough as it sails long. And it is 15 all. That number of 24,995. I feel like we've been there quite a while. Double fault, number 3 from Coco Gauff. So the double faults and the forehand. That's what we always keep an eye out for Coco, don't we? And she's hit her first serve into the net here at 15:30. So a second serve for Svitolina to look at 15:30. Backhand return. It's a good body serve from Coco. It's a wonderful forehand from Coco, and that's not going to land in from Svitolina despite her desperation to get to it. 30 all. Huge point. Biggest point of the match coming up. 32 minutes on the clock. Coco serves out wide into the forehand, but she's not landed the first serve. So biggest point of the match so far, and it is a second serve. Gauff serving. Where are you going to go with this second serve? You are going. Forehand return is going to be comfortable for Svitolina. I was praising the Coco second serve earlier, but that wasn't a very good one, I don't think. And she's down in this rally as a result. But that's a good forehand from Coco. Don't say that very often. Now she's on the backhand. That's a wonderful backhand up the line, but Svitolina's done well to defend. Coco comes into the net. That approach wasn't good enough. The smash, therefore, is difficult. And she's missed it, has she? Oh, she's made it. No, it missed. 30-40. So it was so close, and it was a smash. Look at that. Millimeters out. So it is a break point for Svitolina. And I guess it was all about the approach. That approach shot wasn't difficult enough for Svitolina, giving her a really good chance of at least lofting the ball up really high and therefore making the smash as difficult as possible. And Gauff erred on the smash. So 30-40. Still 5 subscribers away from 25k. Svitolina is 1 point away from breaking serve. Oh, what a serve out wide that is. Coco lets it drop. Oh, no, you've gone the wrong way there, Coco, but I think you're going to get away with it. This is an easy smash for her. She puts that away. Deuce. What a relief that will be for Coco. She should have done better there, shouldn't she, with that forehand, but yeah. I think that it feels like Coco has let Svitolina off the hook a little bit. That's how it's going, Jake. Letting her back in at 3-1. So Coco had an early break, 3-1 up. That's how it feels. And Svitolina's played well, but too many... I know it's the old cliche with Coco, but today it's been the forehand in particular. Oh, no, and there's a horrible double fault there from Coco. As I was just saying, it was the forehand, not the double faults. She goes and double faults. And by the way, it wasn't just the fact it was a double fault. Look at that second serve. I mean, that's just never landing in a month of Sundays. Jake, do you know anyone that can get us up to 25k subs? Can you send them a WhatsApp if they're a tennis fan? Don't just spam people. I wouldn't want you to do that. Anyway, break point number 2. Backhand return into the forehand of Coco. Oh, and Svitolina's missed it. You see, Svitolina letting Coco off the hook there. As that forehand looped up, I was thinking, is this going to go long? But it dropped in the end. And then Svitolina, really, with that backhand, you'd expect her to do better on that backhand. Deuce. Yeah, so I don't know how many unforced errors were out on the forehand, but it feels like close to double figures already, even though we've only had 8 games. So that's more than 1 forehand error per game. Unforced error, of course. Look at her just giving forehands there. Coco gets a bit lucky with that net cord in a way, but as the ball sits up nicely for Svitolina, it's going to be another break point for the Ukrainian. Coco Gauff got 3 games in 12 minutes, by the way, to get to 3-1 and get to the 3 games. The reason why I'm highlighting the 3 games, Jake, is that was how many she won across the entire match in Australia. A match I didn't see, but yeah, the scoreline certainly struck me. Another break point here for Svitolina. And eventually the forehand breaks down. Svitolina gets the break, 5-4, and will serve for the first set. And my ambition, hope that we'd get to 25,000 subscribers before the end of the first set, well, those hopes are hanging by a thread. Coco has lost 4 of the last 5 games. What are your predictions, Jake, for Doha? As in Alcaraz against Rublev and Fils against Mensik. Jake, are you going to be able to join for Jaime Faria against Thomas Martin Echeverri later? I'm sure Fergus and Zach would appreciate your company. So, Svitolina here, when they return to the court, will serve for the first set. The winner, of course, will play Jessica Pegula in the final after Pegula came from a set and a breakdown today to beat Amanda Anisimova. And that head-to-head now reads 5-0. For Pegula. By the way, I think it's been like 45 minutes since we added a subscriber. Well, the stream will be about 8:30 UK, depending on... It's the second match on Centre Court in Rio. So it depends on how long the first one is. Yeah, we've been stuck on this subscriber count for 45 minutes. Okay. $30.15 here on the Svitolina serve. Okay. $30.15 here. Coco with a forehand. Goes well long. 2 set points for Alina Svitolina. Two set points, Svitolina here. Coco on the backhand. That's what she'll like. 40-30. One set point gone, one to go. Svitolina serves. Second serve here for Coco to look at. Yay, another subscriber. 4 away. Forehand return from Coco into the forehand of Svitolina. Forehand is going to be mishit by Coco. Another unforced error on the forehand side. And Alina Svitolina has taken a huge step closer to the WTA Dubai final, where potentially she would be playing, if she wins today, against Jessica Pegula. 6-4, she wins the first set. And having been a breakdown, or if we spin it and look at it from Coco's perspective, Coco a break up. Yeah, she let that one slip, didn't she, Coco? All right, we'll take a quick break.
Ready? Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Four subscribers away from 25,000. Svitolina wins the first set by 6 games to 4. But as I say, it feels like Coco letting that one slip, having been 3-1 up, and then just winning one of the next 6 games. With that forehand from her going AWOL, as it so often does. And it's not been a great start to this second set for Coco. Love 30 down already. Oh, it's another forehand error from Coco. Love 40 now. Look at her frustration. She's lost so many games as well because, of course, it was 3-1. So that's 5. This would potentially be 6 of the last 7 games going the way of Elina Svitolina. Forehand return into the forehand of Coco. But that's such a cautious forehand from her. She's afraid of making an error. She's done so often on the forehand side. Wonderful backhand cross court. Now it's Svitolina on the attack. Coco defending, and she can't defend that, and she's broken. So she's down now a set and a break. And we are 3 subscribers away from 25,000. So 6-4-1 love. Elina Svitolina leads, but it is 6-4-1 love with a break. So if you know someone who hasn't subscribed, tell them to hit subscribe because we are 3 subscribers away. 3, 1, 2, 3 from 25,000. As darkness descends upon Bonn. Let there be light. And there was light. 15 love here for Svitolina. And she's raced into a 40 love lead here, Elina. This would now be 2, add 5. That'd be 7 from 8. 7 of the last 8 games going the way of Elina Svitolina. 4 holds and 3 breaks of serve. Coco has held her serve once in her last 4 service games. It's pretty grim reading if you're a Coco fan. By the way, it is still just a set and a break. But, yeah. What isn't grim reading is that we have 24,997 subscribers, 3 away from that magical figure of 25,000. If you are watching right now and you click subscribe, Dion, I don't know if you've already subscribed, but if you could click subscribe, that would be amazing. And you just might be, Dion, our 25,000th subscriber. Okay, Coco on the forehand here. It's a forehand winner from Coco. Yes, you heard me right. A forehand winner from Coco Gauff. So 40-30. Still a game point here, though, for Eala Svitolina to go 6-4, 2-love up. Look at how Coco there with that return position was protecting her forehand. Really trying to bait Svitolina into going out wide. But in the end, Svitolina was not having it. And she went down the tee. And Coco obliged with an unforced... I call it an unforced error on the return. 2-love, she leads. Okay. 51 minutes on the clock. First, oh, it's a double fault from Coco. And it's one of those horrible ones again where it just floated through the air and hit the mid part of the net. Never looked like it was landing in from the minute it left her racket. Love 15. Forehand from Svitolina into the forehand of Coco. It's a wonderful forehand up the line, but Svitolina does well to defend it. And now it's a forehand winner from Coco, 15-all. Even Coco couldn't mess up that forehand. Okay. 15-all, second serve. And it is 15-30 now on the Coco serve. I would really like to get to 25,000 before this match finishes. $30-all. $53 minutes on the clock, so we're not even hit the hour mark yet. Forehand from Coco into the backhand of Svitolina. Backhand from Coco into the forehand of Eala. Now it's on the forehand of Coco, and it's an unforced error, of course, on the forehand side. 30-40. Another break point opportunity. Remember, Coco has held serve just once from her last 4 service games. It's pretty grim reading. Break point here for Eala Svitolina. She's 3 from 6 today. Forehand Svitolina to the forehand of Coco. That's got good depth on it, but well defended Svitolina. Svitolina's defended really well today, by the way. Oh, that forehand only just made it over the net. Boy, oh boy, Coco, deuce. Now she has a game point, Coco Gauff. Ooh, wonderful forehand winner there from Coco, taking that on the rise. It's kind of really hit or miss today for Coco on that forehand, isn't it? First serve is not landed in, so a second serve here for Svitolina to look at. Backhand return. Backhand from Coco cross court is pretty good. Svitolina defends. Coco should put this forehand away. Doesn't. But what a volley from Coco at the net. Huge hold for her. 2-1. And she screams with delight at that one. It was an excellent volley from Coco. 2-1. We'll take a quick break.
Ready. Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
We're back. 6-4, 2-1. Svitolina leads. 3 subscribers still away from 25k. Just to remind you, the winner of this match will play Jessica Pegula in the final, who won a 2-hour epic earlier against Amanda Anisimova in 3 sets. She was down a set and a break, was Pegula. In fact, she was 2 games away from defeat. Anisimova was leading 4-3 with a break in the second set. But Pegula broke back, and eventually she broke, I think, Anisimova's spirit. And now that's 5-0. Jessica Pegula leads that head-to-head. Okay, into the rally here. It's 15-love for Svitolina, but it is Coco attacking, and it's a wonderful attack from her, setting up a nice forehand winner, 15-all. Forehand return from Coco is excellent, 15-30. Wonderful return there, Coco Gauff, 15-30. And now it's going to be 2 break points for Coco Gauff. Forehand return from Coco into the forehand of Svitolina. That's going to go long, and we are back on serve, ladies and gentlemen, at 2-all. So we're on serve, ladies and gentlemen. Who is winning this match? Let me know in the live chat. G or S? Oh, I see Alcaraz and Rublev are underway, and Alcaraz is up 5-3 in the first set. Forehand from Coco into the forehand of Svitolina. Forehand cross court from Coco into the forehand of Svitolina. Forehand Coco up the line is pretty good. Now she's going to have a relatively easy smash. But she... Oh, wow, we're into the rally. We're at neutral. That was a super easy smash, but in the end, Svitolina messes up the backhand. Coco, they're lucky. Oh, we just gained a subscriber. Thank you very much, whoever you are. If you're watching, and it's you who subscribed, say hello in the live chat. That now means we are 2 subscribers away from 25,000. Just 2. Just 2 subscribers. 2 of you watching right now. You have the chance to become our 25,000th subscriber. You have the chance. Just like Gauff had a chance there, but didn't take it, and we're at 15-all. Two. That means 2 people watching right now. We just need 2 of you to hit subscribe. That's not many, is it? Smash here from Coco is going to win her the point to make it 30-15. She has arrested this slide that she was on, a very slippery slide. She was up 3-1 in the first set, and before she knew it, she was down 6-4, 2-love. And 2-love, by the way, and she saved a break point as well at 30-40. That would have been a double break deficit. That would have been the match, basically. But it is 30-all here on Coco's serve. And it's going to be a game point here for Coco Gauff on 3-2. Nice forehand down the line there from her. Just 1 more point for Coco Gauff to get to 3-2. And just 2 more subscribers for us to get to 25,000. Two subscribers away. Double fault, though, from Coco Gauff to Juice. Has my stream frozen? Or at least my camera has frozen. We are at Juice here. First serve missed from Coco at deuce. Big point, this one. Game point, and we can relax if you're a Coco fan. Break point, and it's panic stations again. Good serve down the tee there from Coco. And these forehands are a little bit short. Very short, I would argue. Forehand to forehand right now. It's not a dynamic Coco really wants to be in, I wouldn't have thought. And she's missed the backhand down the line. And it is indeed going to be a break point for Elina Svitolina. Yeah, but now she's on the verge of being broken again, Raz. Two subscribers away. Come on, guys. There were must be two people watching right now who have not subscribed. Oh, double fault, of course. 3-2 Svitolina. Yeah, Alina's back in front. By the way, do check out us out on Discord. No worries, Raz, no worries. Svitolina leads 6-4, 3-2 with a break. And Coco Gauff staring into the distance there. Is she staring down the barrel of a defeat that would also swing the head-to-head in Elina Svitolina's favor? It would become 3-2. Okay. If you're watching right now and you haven't hit subscribe, please do so. I would like to finish this stream pretty soon. But I did say... yeah, Discord. Look for Talking Tennis and let me know if you can't find it. If we've got Jean here, or Terry, by the way, or anyone else who's on our Discord, get in the chat and share the Discord. If not, if nobody shares it, Raz, send me a DM on Twitter and I can share it there. It's actually it's in the description below. Actually, I think on YouTube. It's in our description on YouTube. Okay. Still 2 subs away from 25k. And Coco goes long, 30-15. Forehand here into the backhand of Coco. Forehand Svitolina into the forehand of Coco. That's a combination that Coco does not want to be repeating too often and perhaps has done so too often today. She puts a forehand into the net. That is in the debatable category of unforced error. I would probably put it in the unforced error category, but I understand if you want to defend it, maybe just saying it's forced. Do you need the Talking Tennis link, Raz? Because I can share it with you. Okay, great. Maybe you can share it in the live chat. That would be useful. Game point here for Svitolina for 4-2. Okay, we are at deuce here on the Svitolina serve. Oh, she's missed the backhand, Svitolina. Break back point for Coco Gauff. Forehand Coco into the forehand of Svitolina. Forehand Coco into the backhand of Svitolina. It's a really good forehand from Coco. She's on the attack. She puts the forehand away. 3-all. We are back on serve, ladies and gentlemen. Back on serve. Okay. 3-all. Coco can't believe she's missed that one. Oh, we just gained a subscriber. We are now 1 subscriber away. Jake, are you on our Discord? Yeah, 1 subscriber right now. 1 subscriber. Come on, if you're watching right now and you haven't hit subscribe, you will have the pleasure of being our 25,000th subscriber. If you're watching right now and you haven't subscribed, you hit that subscribe button and it'll be you who has got us to 25,000. And you'll have so much pride. You can get yourself a t-shirt and say, I got Talking Tennis to 25K. You can tell your whole family and friends about it, and you could walk tall on whatever street it is you're going to be walking down this evening. Coco Gauff doesn't look like she's walking tall right now. She double faults. 15-30. Just one subscriber away. There are some people watching on YouTube right now and you haven't subscribed. You need to be quick. You need to hit that subscribe button right now, because otherwise you'll be too late, because someone else will beat you to it. Forehand into the forehand of Coco. Backhand here from Svitolina. Backhand from Coco down the line. Wonderful backhand from her down the line. Well defended by Svitolina. Svitolina's defended so well today, I will say that. Much better than I think she normally does, but she can't defend that. 30 all. Smack that subscribe button, indeed. If you hit it right now, you can just go, oh, wow, I can't believe it took me so long to subscribe to Talking Tennis, but here I am. Here I am. 30 all. I keep looking at both the TV and the screen to see what happens in terms of what's going on in between Svitolina and Gauff, and just I don't want to miss that moment that I see the 999 go to 25,000. Oh, wow, we're still in the rally here. Svitolina really picking up the pace with these backhands. Forehand to forehand right now. Oh, Svitolina went down the line there, but she goes over the high part of the net and actually hit it into the net. So Coco has a game point. We're going to get to 25,000, but who is it going to be? If you're referring to different challenger swings, Coco Gauff is held, by the way. If you're talking about that sort of August clay swing, that's mine. That's where I'm kind of at with Bonn. And there's one near Dusseldorf I went to last year as well. But has that moved spot on the calendar? Oh, I think that Bonn and that one have just switched. I think Bonn is a little bit earlier this year, maybe end of July rather than sort of early to mid-August. Raz. What is it that made you a Karatsev fan, by the way? I'm very curious. One subscriber away. Just hit subscribe, people. That's it. And then you won't hear from me. Well, you will hear from me again, but... If you're watching and you already have subscribed and you're wondering what else can I do, you can still hit the like button. You can still get in the live chat and just write G or S as to who you think is winning this particular match. Yeah. One away. Okay, we're back on court here at 3-4. Gotcha. Yeah, of course, he had that incredible Australian Open run, didn't he, in 2021? And yeah, didn't he win? Yeah, he won a title in Sydney. And I thought going into that 2022, I thought coming into that 2022 Australian Open that actually he was going to cause Rafa a problem in the second round. I think it was potentially Rafa was going to play him. But then I think he lost first round. Although maybe Kokinakis, maybe Karatsev would have been a third round. That 2022 Australian Open, didn't Karatsev hit like 100 unforced errors in one match? If you're watching right now and you haven't hit subscribe, by the way, Do it. Yeah, was it against Munar? Was it in the Australian Open, Raz? It was over 100, I think, yeah. I'm sure you can quickly find it, the stat, with a quick Google. The next person to hit subscribe on our channel will be the 25,000th subscriber. What a privilege that will be. What an honor. Game point here for Svitolina at 40-30. Just reading your comments, Raz. Is he injured at the moment? Is Karatsev injured, Raz? Oh, wow. What a forehand that is from Svitolina. 4-all. Look at that number, by the way. It looks really sad, doesn't it? 24,999. Looks sad, looks bumpy, looks uneven. We need that. Ah, there we go. That's what it's all about. 25,000. Welcome to the party. And just to celebrate the moment, Coco Gauff mishits a forehand in classic style. Love 15. I'm going to end the stream in a couple of minutes. I will stay live just for a couple more minutes. Thank you for all 25,000 subs. But, yeah, 3 hours and 20 minutes. Oh, look at how angry Svitolina is with that. I think you're still taking a risk when you're just whacking the ball like that. It could easily just fly off in any direction. If Svitolina wins Svitolina wins these two games, then maybe I will stay for a game set match. But I've got too many things on. Too many things on. Just wanted to get to 25,000. Exactly. This could be done in 5 minutes if Svitolina breaks and then holds. But it's looking like a Coco Gauff hold at the moment. Now she's at 40-15, 2 game points for Coco. Plus, you never know. You can lose subscribers as well, Raz. You can soon drop. So I could even, if I stayed live, I could get down to 24,999, and then I just have to keep going again. Did you find the Discord, people? Peter as well, this is for you. Join us on Discord. I'm not sure. Is this our Discord channel? I'm going to send a link in the live chat right now. I don't know if that's our... it's one of our channels, I think. It's in the description as well. I know that. Oh, double fault Coco. Deuce. This should be the Discord link, by the way. There you go. I think that should work. Nice volley there, Coco. And that from Svitolina is going to sail long. So it's a game point for Coco Gauff and 5-4. I think the last one where it says join the... Thanks, Skywalker 121970. That last link I posted is the Discord where you can join other tennis fans. Slice drop shot from Coco here. That's good from Svitolina. That's good from Coco. Too good. Coco Gauff holds for 5-4. And I think I'm going to bring this stream to an end. Just a quick thing. Thank you very much for getting us to 25,000 subscribers. Wonderful. But we keep going, of course. We'll have Jaime Faria against Thomas Martin Echeverri on the channel later on today. So do join us for that watch along with Fergus and Zach. In the meantime, over and out. Still hit the like button. And if you haven't already done so, of course, hit subscribe. And here's a quick snip of an interview that we did with Alex Eala last year.
Ready? Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you? Or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life. And I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you? Or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life. And I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you? Or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life. And I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life.
Yeah, sure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.